Hey guys, so I thought I would do the same thing that I did for bronzers for Lippies. So I've purchased a bunch of new lip products over the past couple weeks, past month or so, and so I thought I would kind of cover all of them in this one video. Some are lipsticks, some are lip glosses. You know, there's a whole mishmash of lip products in here. So why don't I tell you which ones I'm going to cover? And of course, I'll have timestamps down below. If you're only like interested in just a couple of these things, you can kind of jump to the right place. But I'm going to talk about the Hourglass, Unreal. I think these are called Unreal. Yeah, Unreal lip glosses. I'm also going to talk about the Patrick Ta lip glosses. I have all three colors. And then I'm going to talk about the Tom Ford Lip Sparks. These are part of the Tom Ford Extreme line. These are the ones that have that glittery, like outside and kind of glittery finish to them. And then Laura Mercier was actually kind enough to send me their new Silky Cream lipsticks. Two of them I've put into the giveaway. And so I've kept this bright red one, Rouge Electrique, I think is the name. And then finally, I did a dedicated video to these, but in case you missed it or you weren't interested in a full video, I will be talking about the new Gucci lipsticks. I have a sampling from all three of the different finishes that they came out with. So let's go ahead and get started with the lip glosses. I'm going to start with the Hourglass. And if you watched my Sephora VIB sale haul that I did with Risa of Risa Does Makeup, it's actually over on her channel, you will have heard both of us actually go on and on about these lip glosses. They are wonderful. Let me see if I can put into words what it is that I love so much about these lip glosses. I love the texture. They're not too thin, they're not too thick, they're not goopy. I really don't like thick, goopy lip glosses. I don't like thin lip glosses. At that point, I would prefer kind of like a lip oil, you know, if it's going to be more nourishing than an actual finish on my lips. So these kind of fall right in the middle, which is fantastic. They also came out with just a really beautiful array of shades. They have some shimmer, they have some metallic, and then they have some, I think, just straight up kind of like semi-opaque lip glosses. So the two that I got are both shimmer. I got Halo, which is a beautiful kind of like milky color coating to your lips. Like it's just going to give them a little bit of a finish. And I'm going to put some on right now. I don't have anything on my lips at the moment. So it just kind of makes your lips look a little bit healthy, but there's no kind of color commitment. And you can throw this on like a no makeup day. And I also want to mention that there is a slight, very, very slight mintiness to it, which I'm not personally a fan of, but it fades very quickly. The scent, any sort of taste, the feeling of the mintiness, all of that fades very, very quickly, which is why I really like these. If these were like those like volumizing kind of like lip plumper type of lip products, I probably actually would have returned it because I'm not a fan of that tingle sensation on the lips. So these are very mild. And I like that they're a lip gloss, so don't get me wrong. They're not like long lasting, like liquid lipstick in any way. But in terms of lip gloss, I find them to be like fairly long lasting. They really kind of just like hang out on your lips. I remember putting this one on actually for a video that I took a break. I went and I ate lunch. I came back and I was like, I still feel the lip gloss on my lips. Most lip glosses, I mean, there's a few that kind of hang around, but most lip glosses, especially after a greasy meal, be totally gone. But these kind of hung around. So I was impressed with that aspect of these as well. The packaging is really beautiful. It has this gold finish top. It has the H, the Hourglass H engraved at the top there. It's angled. It's just really pretty packaging on top of it being a great lip gloss. And then the applicator is really cool too. It's almost like, it looks like an oar. It looks like a paddle. It's very flat. It's straight, but it kind of comes out and then comes back in. So it just makes for like really easy application. So I'm going to go ahead and take off this Halo color and put on this Ignite color. So there is Ignite, really faint kind of like peachy tinge there. And even though these have like little shimmery bits in there, you can't feel them. I don't think that they look like overly glittery on the lips. They're just really beautiful glosses. And this lip gloss, I love pairing with the Pat McGrath Done Undone lip pencil. It's like such a beautiful match. All right, next up, let's talk about these Patrick Ta lip glosses. So I have all three from his initial launch, and they all have like a slightly different shimmer. but they are all very, very sheer, so they work really well as lip toppers. They probably have like a similar pigmentation to these Hourglass glosses, but let me go ahead and take off this Hourglass gloss and put on the Patrick Ta. So let's start with She's Expensive, which is the lightest one. So these also have almost like a mint chocolate chip kind of flavor and scent to them. Very, very light also. I feel like any kind of mintiness I don't actually really feel. And then the scent of it fades fairly quickly as well. So here is She's Expensive. These glosses have a much kind of like wetter effect than the Hourglass. The Hourglass, I felt like the consistency is a little bit thicker and the finish of it is a little bit more satin, where these are, the gloss is a little bit thinner and there's a little bit more of like a high shine to them. And even though there's like glittery bits in here, I feel like you can't really even see them until you get pretty close up to my lips. So I really like the feel of these lip glosses. Again, they're like a little bit thinner than the Hourglass, and because of that, they're like not long lasting at all. Like these did not last through a meal for me. These wore off very, very quickly. So these are really nice as a lip topper. I'll wear them alone also because I do like this kind of glossy, juicy sheen that it gives my lips. But these really are great as lip toppers. Like if you have a nude lip and you just want to make it a little bit more juicy looking, these are great. Let's go ahead and try the She's an Influencer color. So this is She's an Influencer. So these on the lips alone, I feel like look very, very similar. I don't think that you can see that much of a difference because I think they are so sheer. And if you have, I don't think my lips are like overly pigmented, but if you don't have really pale lips, or if you have absolutely nothing else down, I really don't think you can see the difference in the tone. I think if you were to layer these two on top of like a pale nude lipstick, I think you would see a little bit of like, you know, a tint there, especially with this one. But alone on my lips, I really don't feel like I see the difference, unfortunately. Oh, I also should mention that there's like no stickiness to these or the Hourglass at all. I think the Hourglass, because it's just a little bit thicker in consistency, that there's a little bit more of a tackiness there, but they're not like a sticky lip gloss at all in any way. All right, last but not least, let's try this Is She Younger Than Me? And this color, I feel like you can see on my lips a little bit. You can see like the little bit of like pink tinge to it. But again, very, very sheer. I think what actually becomes prominent in this one are the glitters. The little micro glitters. Not chunky at all. I think they look really pretty on the lips, but they're just a little bit more prominent than these two. So those are the Patrick Ta glosses. Let's move on to the Tom Ford Lip Sparks. So these Lip Sparks, I believe they're limited edition. I'm not sure, but I will leave all the information down below in my description box as I normally do. But these are part of the Tom Ford Extreme line. So they come with like chrome packaging, the box, and the lipstick case. So this is just so much fun. I really love this packaging. I really did not have high hopes for these. I thought that they were going to be, I don't know, just overly glittery. I thought that they were going to be, I don't know, maybe just like kind of obnoxious to wear on an everyday basis. But I actually really, really love these lip sparks. They have some pigment, but not too much. They have glitter, but not too much. I just really enjoy them. I think they're really pretty. I didn't see too many color offerings, at least here in the US. I feel like on Instagram, I saw pictures from like European or foreign Instagram accounts where they had like a lot of options. I don't know if maybe that's something that's coming, but I think we only maybe had like 6 color options. And I purchased the 2 kind of subdued ones. Number 2, Surge, and number 3, Thrust. So Surge is this kind of like bronzy copper color. And the glitters on the outside of this bullet are just, they're so, it's so 70s looking. And then here is Thrust, which has a little bit more of like a peachy, rosy tint to it. And this is the one that I've actually been wearing more often than the Surge one. All right, so here's number 2, Surge. And all the glitter bits are on the outside of the bullet. Actually, on the inside of the bullet, I mean, you're still going to end up with some glitters in the lipstick, but it's really more of like this frosty metallic sheen. So there is Surge. I really, really like these. I think that they're, I mean, you know, they're obviously glittery. They're obviously metallic. These are all things that I really, really like, but I don't feel like they're like really crazy looking. Like if I were to describe these, if I were to say these are like a metallic frosty glitter lipstick, I mean, you know, I would be like, no, thank you. But I find them to actually be really nice and not that obnoxious. They have a really smooth feeling to them. I cannot feel the glitter at all. There's no taste to them. There's a slight, that like vanilla cocoa kind of scent, very slight. So let me take this off and we can put the other color on. So here is Thrust. And again, this is the peachier, more rosy tone one. And there is Thrust. Again, I just find them surprisingly wearable. I find them just surprisingly not as extreme as I thought they were going to be. So I'm in love with the shade. I've been wearing it a lot lately. It's just, I don't know, to me it's like the perfect kind of like fun spring summertime kind of lip. I just really like it. So the one question I've been getting about the Lip Sparks is how does it compare with the Chantecaille lip crystals? So these are the Chantecaille lip products that came out with their Polar Ice collection this past spring. And it has like a similar idea. It has like the glitter outside. And so a lot of people were thinking that they were going to be very similar. And I think that they are actually a little bit similar because they both have like this frosty kind of metallic finish to them. But I actually find the Chantecaille to be more duochrome, like there's a little bit more going on. So let me just go ahead and swatch them side by side. And it could just be the colors that I picked because I know the Lip Sparks come in like much brighter colors. And this Chantecaille color is like a brighter color versus the Tom Ford. But here is the Chantecaille. So can you see that like, it's like really, really frosty. And then here is the Tom Fords. Here's Surge and Thrust. But I just find this one to be a little bit more like blinding in the metallic arena. So again, it could be just the colors that I picked, but between the colors that I have, I find the Chantecaille to be more of a statement. And then some of you were asking me to compare it to the Pat McGrath Blitz Trance lipsticks. I don't have the version with the glitter on the actual bullet. I think she came out with like new versions of that. I have the originals, which are just kind of plain. And I find these to be quite different. I don't find them to be quite as metallic and frosty as the Tom Ford. So here are the two Tom Fords, and then here are the two Pat McGrath Blitz Trance. So I find these to be more pigmented. I think there's a little bit of glitter in there as well. And there is a little bit of a metallic sheen, but it's not close to either of these. So to me, these are just a very different kind of lip product. Okay, next up, let's talk about the Laura Mercier Silky Cream lipsticks. Now these are relatively new and there's a wide range, and there's a really beautiful, a big shade range, and the packaging is beautiful. Comes in this great metallic case. It is magnetized. So I've worn this lipstick twice. One just to kind of test and like, you know, hang out with. And then another time I actually wore it out. And this formula is incredibly silky and incredibly creamy. And it's incredibly, incredibly pigmented. It is one of those like one swipe kind of lipsticks. All right, so let's go ahead and swatch this Laura Mercier color. These Laura Mercier lipsticks are incredibly, incredibly pigmented, as you can probably tell by this one color. They're also incredibly comfortable on the lips. I think if you're looking for just a straight up, no fuss kind of lipstick, this is the one. It is extremely pigmented. It goes on incredibly easily. It's very creamy, but it doesn't feel like overly silicone-y where it kind of just slides over your lips. It really feels creamy. It really feels like it's sitting nicely on your lips. It's incredibly pigmented. I've probably said that 5,000 times by now. This is one of those lipsticks. It's like what you see is what you get. There are no surprises. I would imagine if you found a color that you really liked, that really suited you, it would be the one that you just kind of ended up reaching for all the time. Like if you just didn't know what else to use, you would just end up using this. And I think what I also like about these lipsticks is that they are really like weightless. I don't really feel like I'm wearing a cream lipstick. So they're just not, I don't know, they're just not like thick at all. That is the new Laura Mercier Silky Cream lipsticks. And why don't we go ahead and end it with these new Gucci lipsticks. I am not going to swatch any of these because I just swatched them in my dedicated video, which again, I will try and remember to link up here or link down below in my description box. But Gucci just came out with 58 new shades of lipstick, most of which come in this satin formula, which comes in this beautiful gold case. Now this satin formula is like very different from the Laura Mercier. The formula of these is much thinner and less pigmented. So these satin lipsticks are like really easy to wear. You almost don't need a mirror for them, kind of satin lipsticks. And the shade range, if you are a nude lover, it is like a wet dream. You go onto the Gucci site and they have all of the little, you know, color chips there. It's like most of them are nudes, and it was, for me, it was like intoxicating. So the 3 satin ones that I purchased are all nudes. And again, take a look at my video if you're interested. And then one of the other finishes is a sheer lipstick. So those are the ones that come with the like rosebud packaging. This formula, it's very thin, it's very sheer. Again, really, really easy to use. One of the colors that I got is this Agatha Orange. And you know, you can just put it on really easy, no mirror or whatever. It just gives your lips this orangey tint. Really beautiful. I really like sheer kind of balmy lipsticks, and these are very, very nice. They have like just enough pigment. So those are the sheer ones. And then they also came out with 4 balms, and I was just on their site and I think they only have this one left. I don't know if they either sold out of the other ones or I don't know what's going on, but I know when I ordered these, there was 4 different colors, but the one shade that I got in the balm is No More Orchids, and it's this fun, like fleshy pink color. And the balms are definitely not as pigmented as the sheer lipsticks, but they truly are balms. So the formula and the texture of these is thicker than the sheer lipsticks. So it really feels nourishing and kind of sits on the lips. So again, check out my video if you're interested in those, but those have been a lot of fun. All right, those are all the new lipsticks that I've acquired over the past few weeks, probably past month actually. I got the Tom Ford Lip Sparks quite some time ago. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comments section. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.